Everyone, I'm really excited to be launching this course today. This is the Further Maths GCSE examination course in preparation for your exams in 2024. So this is going to contain all of the topics that are covered in this exam, and this is for the year group 10 or 11, and it's going to be for the next 8 months, which is really exciting. So I hope you can stick around till the very end to be able to understand all of the topics that you've been struggling with. I am more than excited and happy to be able to break it down into easier terms and explanations for you to be able to succeed with your in your exam. And I'm also going to be equipping you with the knowledge and the skills to be successful in this exam. If you haven't already gone through the National Tutors website to see the course structure and description, these are the topics that we're going to be covering from this course. So we are going to be reviewing number and algebra 1, algebra 2, 3, algebra 2 to 4, geometry 1 and 2, your coordinate geometry, as well as your matrices. So it's really important for you to also have an idea of your weak areas as well as your strong areas. So I can be able to strengthen those weak areas and maintain and help you out even with your strong areas as well. This is going to be the textbook that I'm going to be using for this course. I'm also going to be using other resources that I'm going to share along the way. So if you haven't already done so, I would love for you to purchase this book, whether it's a PDF or a hard copy. It would really be great for you to go follow me along the way as I'm going through this course with this book. And I love this quote already, and I'm just going to put this quote right here that says that the only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. And this is by Paul Halmos. And I also just want to encourage you because I know that a lot of people are always very terrified when it comes to math, yet alone further math. And you already think that, oh my God, I'm not smart enough or I don't like math. I want to encourage and let you know that math is pretty easy to overcome. It's not impossible for you to be able to get through your preparation for your exams. So I just want to strengthen that and give you that boost of confidence and let you know that you are already, congratulations for getting this far in your schoolwork and in your school progress. But I also want to let you know and encourage you that you're going to do great in this preparation for your exams. And you are smart enough, you are smart, and you are more than capable for you to pass this course. You just need to realize that you have to be able to practice every day in when it comes to math. The more you practice in general when you are learning a skill, the better you become. If I haven't already done that, I'm going to introduce myself and say that and just let you know that my name is Favor Anthony. Yes, people have asked me if that's my real name. It is my real name, and I love my name so much. I'm going to be your further math tutor and throughout the timeline of this course for the next 8 months. This is my email address that you can reach out to me at favor@nationaltutors.co.uk. I always encourage my students to communicate with me, reach out, send me an email with whatever you're struggling with. If what I went through the video is not very clear enough, reach out to me and let me know. I'm going to also be sharing a lot of worksheets and practice questions and quizzes as well to keep you engaged and involved throughout the duration of this course. So again, I encourage you to send me an email to introduce yourself and say, "Hi, Miss Favor. I'd love to just connect with you and let you know that I'm going to be working through the videos for the next 8 months. I would really love to connect with each and every one of my students." So again, my email is favor@nationaltutors.co.uk. And I also want to appreciate National Tutors for this opportunity to be on board with such an incredible team of people. Thank you so much, Dr. Claire Wilshire, for this opportunity. And I am looking forward to the next 8 months because I know it is going to be an incredible preparation for this exams. If you don't already know what the exam is going to be, just want to give a little summary of your what to look out for, what to expect with the exam. So the exam is going to be split into paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 is going to be non-calculator and paper 2 is going to be calculator. So For you out there that enjoys using calculator all the time to solve even basic mathematics, I want to let you know that please get used to not using your calculator in preparation for this exam, because you want to know how to solve math problems with and without the calculator, especially because the exam is going to require the be without the use of a calculator. So again, this is the beauty of this course. This course is going to equip you even with the simplest math problems such as word problems for you to know how to solve your questions without the use of a calculator, and how to use a calculator effectively in preparation and during your exam. So again, the first paper is going to be without a calculator, and you're going to be it's a written exam for an hour 45 minutes. It's going to be 80 marks. 50% of the AQA level 2 certificate in further mathematics assessment is going to be taken from the questions are going to be taken from that. And you're going to have a mix of question styles, whether it's from short single mark questions to multiple step problems. So again, it's important for you to know how to go through multiple choice questions, but at the same time it's really important for you to know how to show your workings. I know some with my experience in tutoring so far, I've had a couple of students who don't really like to show their working when it comes to problems. Again, please try to refrain from that because of the expectation of this exam. Know how to show your working and how to pick multiple choice questions. Even when you don't know the answer, how to be able to make an objective decision. But again, this course is going to be able to equip you with the ability to be able to solve all your questions accurately and efficiently as well. And then paper 2 is going to be with the use of with a calculator, the same, duration, an hour 45 minutes, and the same structuring of your question style. So again, I'm going to be able to equip and help you learn how to solve your questions with a calculator and also without a calculator, so you don't feel like you're stuck and you don't know what to do next. Okay, so I wanted to just share a little bit about myself. Well, at least play a little game, which is going to be your two truths and one lie. I'm very curious to see what my students think of me in terms of just, this first connection that you have with me. Would you think is true about my life, and which do you think is a lie? So it's going to be a thing of take a wild guess, basically. So the first option that I have is I have survived a category 5 hurricane. The next one is my favorite cake is chocolate. And I have lived in 6 different countries in the last 6 years. So let me know the statements that are truthful and the one that is a lie. You can also just send me an email letting me know that, hey, Miss Favor, this is what I thought was the lie and this is what I thought was the truth, because you're not really going to be able to put your votes from this video. So just shoot me an email and just let me know sentences that are truthful from these 3 options and the one you think is a lie. So I'm just going to give you 2 minutes to be able to figure it out. All right, so I'm gonna tell you which ones are true and which one is the lie. So the first one says I have survived a category 5 hurricane, and that is very truthful. I have survived a category 5 hurricane in 2017. I was living in Dominica at the time, one of the Caribbean islands. So yes, that one is very truthful. I My favorite cake is chocolate. That is the lie. I'm not a fan of chocolate flavored cakes at all. My favorite cake is actually cheesecake, and I love it very much so. So that is the lie. And then the last one says I have lived in 6 different countries in the last 6 years. That is a truthful statement. So I have lived in 6 different countries in the last 6 years, which again, if you want to know what my experience has been so far, just send me an email and I can just give you a brief summary of the beauty of traveling and just exploring the different parts of the world. So, yes, I hope that was a shocker for some of you that thought differently. So, before we start this course, I want you to be able to identify the topics that are your strong areas. So, again, the breakdown of the topics that we're going to be working on are your algebra 1 to 4, the number, and I'm going to give a breakdown of what number is going to contain. You have geometry 2, you have geometry 1. You also have your coordinate geometry as well as your matrices. So again, I want you to be able to identify your area of your strong areas from this list of topics and send me an email to let me know so that I can have an idea of which one you're struggling with the most and which one at least you have a good solid foundation on. So again, we're going from algebra 1 to 4. We have number, we have geometry 2, we have geometry 1, we have coordinate geometry and matrices. And I'm going to do even the same thing for your weak areas as well. I want you to also identify your weak areas from the list of these topics as well. So again, number, algebra 1 to 4, geometry 1 to 2, your coordinate geometry and your matrices. Let me know again and send me an email to let me know which are your strong areas and which topics are your weak areas. Okay, so with that being said, we are going to get into the course for the day or the topic for the day. So, our first topic that we are going to be working on in this video, I'm going to be reviewing three topics in one. I'm going to be doing the number and the number system. This is going to, well, this, sorry, I'm going to be starting with this topic and this topic. These are the topics that are going to be covered in this one topic. So, under your number and the number system, we are going to be walking through the introduction, place value, arithmetic, which is going to involve questions that have to do with money, number sequences, your bid mass or bod mass, your word problems, and your calculator skills, how to be able to effectively use your calculator. We're going to be learning about reviewing rounding numbers. Again, these may be basic topics that you're already very familiar with, but again, it's better to be fully prepared than under prepared for this exam. So we're going to be reviewing rounding numbers, factors, multiples, and prime numbers, your positive and negative numbers, which are also called your integers. We're going to be doing fractions, decimals, and percentages. We're going to be working through powers and roots, standard form, simple and compound interest, types of numbers, and surds. So again, if you already identify areas from these topics that you are not very strong in or you're strong with, just send me an email again. I would very much love communication and transparency throughout this course so that way I know how to be able to better support and help you out in preparation for this exam. So if you want to also take a screenshot, you are more than free to take a screenshot of this, of the breakdown of this topic that we are going to be going through in this first part, the number and the number system. So with that being said, we're going to start off with the place value. So already you've learned this in your class 1, your year 1 basic reception primary school, where you already learned about place value. You learned about your hundreds, your tens, your ones, and that's numbers before the decimal point and numbers after the decimal point. So place value is the value of each digit within a number. You want to be able to, when you have a number, you want to know, how can I identify the place value of each of the digits in that number? It's important because it helps to identify the location of each digit within the number, and it also gives understanding of how large or small the number is. So if we have a number, let me just pick the green color, right? So if we have the number 46, right? And we have the number 468. Four in this two or in these two numbers are very different. They are not having the same place value. 4 here has a different place value in 46, and 4 here has a different place value in 468. And that would also tell you and give you an idea of how large or small the number is. Is 46 greater than 446? Sorry, is 46 greater than 468? Or is 468 greater than 46? Place value helps you be able to identify the numbers, and it helps you be able to identify how large or small a number is, and also tells you how to be able to read numbers as well. So this is our place value chart, and again, with this place value, we are talking about numbers that are both before and after the decimal point. So this is just a summary in general. The numbers from the ones, so let me just put a decimal point right here, right? So anything that is on the left side of your decimal point is gonna have a different place value than the numbers that are on the right side of the decimal point. So the numbers that are before the decimal points, the first place value is your ones. The next one is your tens, your hundreds, your thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and your millions. And then after the decimal point, you have, if you notice, instead of the tens, it's just a th is added to the numbers, to the spellings for you to get the place value of the numbers after the decimal point. So instead of tens, you have tenths. Instead of hundreds, you have hundredths. And instead of thousands, you have thousandths. And it keeps going on and on. You have your tens of thousandths, your hundreds of thousandths, and your millions. Again, this is just a summary of your place value chart that you're all very much familiar with. So moving on to give just an example of the place value, if we have the number 54, 54 tells us that 5 is on the tens place value, because remember, any number before the decimal point, when you're increasing, is going from your ones, your tens, your hundreds, thousands, and all the way down to a zillion, let's say, right? So we know that 5 is on the tens place value and 4 is going to be on your ones place value. So that is going to give us 5 tens and 4 ones. 5 tens is the same thing as writing it out as 5 times 10, which is equal to 50. And then 4 ones is the same thing as giving a 4 times 1, which is equal to 4. And then when you add the two values together, you're going to get 54. So this is your place value before the decimal point, or at least just a summary of your decimal points. So now we are going over to the integer place value. Now, the integer place value are numbers that are on the left of the decimal point, which is which are these place values. So they are before your decimal point. So in the number 606,000, sorry, 890.54. 6,890 is on the left side of the decimal point. So it is known as your integer place value. What are integers? Integers are whole numbers that are including both your positive and your negative values, which we are going to eventually learn as well. But this is just a brief introduction into integers. So we are dealing with numbers that are on the left side of the decimal point. And you tend to use a comma or space to be able to distinguish or write these numbers down. And they are separated 3 digits at a time. So if you have, we already did the number 54, right? Yes. So placing 54 under our place value table, our 5 goes under our tens place value, and our 4 goes under our ones place value. Now we have these numbers written out as 9456382. How do we read this number? We already have been told that we separate integers by 3 digits. We separate integers 3 digits at a time. That means that we are counting 3 digits from the right side to the left side. When we count 3 digits from the right to the left, we separate it by a comma. What does that mean? So if we have 9456382, we're going to count 3 digits from right to left. 1, 2, 3. We're going to put a comma here, right? And we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And we're going to put a comma here. What does this number now read? This is going to read 9,456,382. Again, 9,456,382. This is what this number is going to read. So we have separated these numbers with commas, counting 3 digits from the right all the way to the end till we can't count three digits anymore, and then we stop and we're able to now read the number. So the comma helps us be able to identify and read the figures in words, as well as understanding the value of that money. So if you have 9 million, let's say 9,456,382 pounds, that is a huge amount of money compared to if you just say 382 pounds. You already know that once you enter the millions, that is a huge amount of money. So, again, it just tells you the value that place value helps us in our day to day life. Okay, so the integer place value is usually split, as we already talked about. We have our thousands, millions, billions, trillions. Imagine if you have trillions of pounds, that would be great, and the ordinary number, and we have the power of 10. So our thousands, the ordinary number is going to be 1 with three zeros. And when you're writing it in the power of 10, you're writing 10 to the power of 3, because again, you're moving your decimal point, which we're also going to learn as we go and when we reach decimals. You're moving your decimal point 1, 2, 3 places. And if you want to write it in standard form, that's going to give you 1.0 times 10 to the power of 3. And your millions has six zeros, 10 to the power of 6. Your billions is nine zeros, 10 to the power of 9. And your trillions is going to be 12 zeros. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is a huge amount of money. So again, this is your place value for your integer place value, numbers that are before your decimal point. Okay, so now we are going to be moving on to our decimal place value. Yes. We are now going to be considering the place value of digits to the right of your decimal point. Remember, your integer place value was to the left of your decimal point. Now we are on the decimal place value, which is to the right of the decimal point. So all the numbers that are after your decimal point is what we're going to be focusing on. Decimals are read digit by digit. So, in comparison to integers place value that are read in terms of their place value, so we have 6890. You're not going to say this is 6890. Nope. You're going to say 6,890.54. So you can already tell that you know that these numbers, you're reading it by their place value. But if you notice, I didn't say 54 when I was going through this number. I said 54, because decimals, numbers that are after the decimal point, are read digit by digit. So you're not going to say 6,890.54. Nope. You're saying 6,890.54, because numbers that come after your decimal point are read digit by digit. So you're calling out the numbers one by one. And the place value that we have after our decimal point. So this is our ones, because the decimal point will come after the ones place value. So after the ones place value, we have our tenth. Our tenth is 1 divided by 10, which is going to be 0.1. We have our hundredth. So it's the addition of th at the end of your normal place values that you have before the left. So we have our hundredth. We have, which our hundredth is 1 divided by 100, which is going to give us 0.01. We have our thousandth, which is 1 divided by 1,000. We have our tens of thousandth. We have our hundredth. Our tens of thousand is 1 divided by 10,000. We have our 100,000th, which is going to be 1 divided by 100,000. And we have our millionth. Maybe you've heard about this, maybe you haven't, but hey, it's great that you're learning something new today. Our millionth is going to be 1 divided by a million. And going by the same format that we did for the other one, we're dividing it into the place of value, ordinary number, and the power of 10. So our thousandth is 1 divided by 1,000, which is going to be, well, I should would have started from our tenth, which already is 1 divided by 10, which is going to be 10 to the power of negative 1. So we're just picking it up from the thousandth. So we have the thousandth to be 1 divided by 1,000. And if you change that to a decimal point, it's going to give you 0.001, which is the same thing as 10 to the power of negative 1. So if you want to write this in the standard form, you're going to be moving your decimals from the left to the right side to make sure that the decimal point comes in front of this number. Do not even worry about the standard form. We're going to get into that when the time comes, but just giving you an idea of what it is. So when you put a decimal point there, when because you're moving your decimal point from the left to the right side, it's going to be negative compared to when you were moving it from the right to the left, that is going to be positive. So again, hopefully this doesn't confuse you, but if it does, I'm going to be able to clear it out once we get into decimal points. But in the meantime, know that the thousandth place value is your 1 divided by 1,000, which is your 0.001, and that gives you 10 raised to the power of negative 3. Your millionth place value is your 0.5 zeros and 1, and that's going to be your 10 to the power of negative 6, and your billion, same format, is going to be 10 to the power of negative 9. If you have any questions up to this point, please send me an email and I will be more than happy to get back to you on that. It's super important to make sure that my students are very much engaged during the class. Okay, with that being said, we're just going to do a little bit of some practice questions just to see where your head is at and how much you've understood so far up to this point. So at this point, you can pause the video and go through the questions on your own, and then eventually we're going to go through them together. So these are just 6 questions just to, wake your brain up and let it know that, hey, it's time to see how much you've understood so far in this topic. So the first question is write the value of 2 in the number. I'm not going to say the place value, so I'm just going to call it digit by digit. So I'm going to say 475321. Because if I say it, then you kind of have an idea. So I'm just going to call it digit by digit. So 475321, what is the value of 2 in this question? So pause your video and go through it and let me know what your answers are, or at least what your answer is for this first question. All right, great. I'm assuming that you have already gone through it and done this. So the place value of 2, what you can do is just write it on the top of the number, right? So this is our 1 place value. This is our 10 place value. This is our 100 place value. Our tens of thousand, sorry, our 1,000 place value, which I'm just going to call TH, right? This is our 1,000 place value. This is going to be our tens of thousand place value. I'm going to call that TTH. I have very limited space, so I'm just trying to conserve it. And this is going to be our hundreds of thousand place value. So you already should have an idea of where I'm going to with this. So our 2 is on our tens place value, which means it's going to be 20. So if you got that, if you picked 20, great job. If you didn't, again, just start the video from the top again and just go through it and come back again, and it would make much more sense to you. The second question is write the value of 1 in the number 1000253. Again, that is 1000253. So you can pause the video and we will go through it again. All right, so let's go through the place value. So this is our ones place value, tens, hundred, thousand, tens of thousand, hundred of thousand, and million. Ooh la la. So we are at our million place value. So 1 is going to be our million place value. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner and we have an answer. So it's going to be our million place value. Great. You're doing a great job. All right, so write the value of 3 in the number 483201. Once again, that is 483201. What is the value of 3 in this? Okay, so this is our 1, 10, 100, 1,000. So our 3 is on our 1,000 place value. Fantastic. And then you have write the value of 7 in the number 6.072. All right, our 7 is going to be on our 700th place value. Because remember, after the decimal point, you have tens and you have hundredth, and then you have thousandth. So it's going to be our 700th place value. And then just two more questions. We're going to just run through this. Write the value of 8 in the number 0.0008. All right, so our 8 is going to be, this is tenth, this is hundredth, this is thousandth, this is tens of thousandth. So it's going to be 8 tens thousandth. Great job. And the final question is number 6. Write the value of 4 in the number 4.825. Okay, so our 4, pretty easy. It's before the decimal point, so it's just going to be our 4 ones, or the same thing as just 4. All right, excellent job. Great job, everyone. And we are moving on to the topic arithmetic. All right, this is pretty basic because you're very familiar with your signs. You have your addition, your subtraction, your multiplication, and your division. And these are the signs for these arithmetic operations. So, addition is commutative. What does that mean? It is the order in which the calculation is carried out doesn't matter. That means that if you say 3 plus 4 is equal to 4, is the same thing as saying 4 plus 3. So 3 plus 4 is the same thing as saying 4 plus 3, which is 7. So it doesn't matter how you write the numbers, your answer is going to be the same. And when you're talking about addition, you're adding to something, something is increasing. So when you start doing word problems, there are very key words that will point you in the direction of whether you're going to add in that, you're going to use the operation addition in that question. And these are the terms such as sum, altogether, total, add, increase, more than, increase by, combine. When you hear these terms, when you are doing word problems, it's pointing you in the direction of addition. So if we have the number line, and already, if you're very familiar with number line, you know that when you are adding on your number line, you're moving to the right side. So if we have, for example, right, negative 3 plus 5, that means that we are moving right of our number line wherever we're starting from. So we're starting off from negative 3 and we're counting 5 places to the right. So that's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that gives us the value of 2. So addition is moving to the right of your number line. All right, we are going over to subtraction. Subtractions removes elements from a set. Addition, you're adding elements to a set. Subtraction, you are taking away. Subtraction is not commutative, meaning that the order of the numbers within the calculation, if it changes, if the order of the numbers within the calculation changes, the result will change. So if you say 7 minus 4, that is not the same thing as saying 4 minus 7, because 7 minus 4 is going to give you 3, but 4 minus 7 is going to give you negative 3. So it's really important that you take note of the order of the operation, the order of the numbers in the operation or in the question. And the terms that are used in your word problems for subtraction, you have terms such as deduct, less, less or fewer than, difference. What is the difference of 7 and 4? That tells you that is 7 minus 4. You have the use of the word minus. You have the use of the word decrease, take away. 4 taken away from a number 9 gives you what? That's 9 minus 4 to give you 5. So again, it's really important for you to understand and have an idea of these terms that are used when you are doing word problems. So you know exactly whether you are adding, subtracting, dividing, or multiplying. So an example, we have minus 1 minus 8. For addition, we were moving to the right side, but for subtraction, we are doing the opposite. We are going to be moving to the left side in on your number line. So we're starting from -1, and I have to even make this a little bit extended because I would need that. Great. So we have -1 minus 8. So we're starting from -1 and we're going all the way to the left. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would land us on the mark of -9. We're going to be going through integers, and we would tackle negative and positive numbers when it comes to addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So don't even stress yourself about it, but just to give you an idea of subtraction on the number line. Okay, so we're moving on to multiplication. So now multiplication is repeated addition. So if you say 2 times 4 is equal to 8, that is the same thing as saying your same thing as adding 2 in 4 places. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which will give you 8. So that's why multiplication is repeated addition. It is also commutative as your addition in the sense that the order in which the calculation is carried out doesn't matter. For example, 3 times 4, which is 12, is the same thing as saying 4 times 3, which will give you 12. And the terms that are used in word problems to let you know whether you're multiplying are multiply, product, times, double, twice, multiplied by. So you come across questions that are going to be, say, 4 times a number gives you 8, or double this gives you that, or two, he was paid twice in a week, or yeah, just things like that that would at least give you an idea and help you know that, okay, this question is talking about multiplication. So I just wanted to put those terminologies in this definition so that at least you have an idea of when what operation you're going to use when you're solving word problems. And you're we if when you're multiplying the signs, positive times positive is going to give you a positive. Negative times a negative is going to give you a positive. Negative times a positive is going to give you a negative. And positive times a negative is going to give you a negative. So essentially, multiplication of the same signs is going to give you a positive result. Multiplication of different signs is going to give you a negative result. So if you have 4 times 4, 4 times 4 is what? 16, right? Yep, it's going to give you 16. And -4 times, let's say, -5. To solve that, you're just going to say, what is 4 times 4? Sorry, what is minus times minus is going to give you a positive, but in math, we don't really put the positive sign for numbers. The moment you don't see a negative sign, it automatically means it's a positive number. The moment you don't see a negative sign, it automatically means a positive number. So you have minus times minus to give you a positive. I'm just putting it there just to let you know. And then 4 times 4 is going to give you 20. So essentially your answer is just 20 because we never really put the positive sign when we are with talking about numbers. And we are going over division right now. So division shares the elements of a set into a number of distinct groups. So if you have a question that says Tiffany shares 20 of her pencils among her 5 friends, how many does each friend have? So that is the element there are the pencils that are being shared into The distinct groups there are her five friends. So Tiffany shares 20 pencils to her five friends. How many pencils will each person get? So each person is going to get four pencils because 20 divided by 5 is going to give you 4. And also, so that is division. Division is not commutative, meaning that the order at which you write it, if you change it, it's going to change the result of your answer. So that tells you that 12 divided by 4 is going to give you 3, but 4 divided by 12 is going to give you 1/4, 1 over 3. So it is not commutative. So the order at which you write the numbers is super important because if it changes, then it's going to change the results. And the terms that are used in your word problems for division is going to be divided by share. Just like I said, Tiffany shared 20 pencils among her five friends. You're gonna hear that word share, that term share. You're going to hear group. You're going to hear divided into, shared equally, divide itself, the word divide, goes into, so 4 goes into 12 how many times? 3 times. Quotient, and you already know that quotient is the answer that you get from dividing or from your division. So you already know that. Okay, so when you are working on division question, if you have 16 divided by 8 is equal to 2, 16 here is going to be your dividends. And I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with this term. Is going to be dividends. 8 here is going to be your divisor. And then your 2 is going to be called your quotient. So your quotient is the answer or the result of your division. Your dividends is the number that you are dividing, and your divisor is the number that you are dividing your dividend by. So 16 divided by 8 is equal to 2. Our dividends is 16, our divisor is 8, and our quotient is 2. It's just great to be able to understand when you see this term so you're not confused. Because if a question says, what is the quotient of 15 divided by 5? You already have an idea that it's asking you to that what is 15 divided by? 15 divided by 5 is going to give you what? All right, and your inverse operations is the opposite of whatever you're doing. So if the question is addition and you want to be able to break the bond of addition, you're going to be doing the opposite of addition, which is subtraction. So addition and subtraction go hand in hand. Multiplication and division go hand in hand. So your opposite of addition is subtraction. Opposite of multiplication is division, and the opposite of your square here is your square root. Is your square root. And the nth power. Nth power is talking about whatever your exponential power is, you are doing the n root of that. So if your exponential power is cube, which is x to the power of 3, then the opposite of that is cube root. And if you had just like you have your square, right, which is to the power of 2, the opposite of that is square root. So if you had x to the power of 4, the opposite of that is going to be the root of 4 or the fourth root. Okay. Now we are moving on to our order of operations. Our order of operation is telling us the order at which we solve problems. So if we have a question that says 3 times 4 plus 5. How do we solve this question? This is a rule that guides us on the operation that we tackle first and the one that we now tackle after. And it is being summarized by the acronym BODMAS or BIDMAS. Some people know it as BODMAS, some people know it as BIDMAS. It's the same concept. So BODMAS stands for brackets of. Of here is the same thing as multiplication. Div- bracket of BODMAS brackets of multiplication for the of, Division coming before multiplication, multiplication coming before addition, and addition coming before subtraction. Now, BIDMAS, instead of the of, we're having indices. Indices is the same thing as exponents. If you know it as indices, if you know it as indices, great. If you also know it as exponents, great. It means the same thing. So indices is also known as exponents. So you're having your brackets, you're solving anything that is in a bracket first, and then you're solving your exponential power next, your division, your multiplication, addition, and subtraction comes after. So let's do a couple of examples, right? If we have 12 minus 7, so I'm just going to draw the answers right here and just solve the working right here. So if we have 12 minus 7 plus 6, so remember, we're adding before we're subtracting. So we can write it as 12. What is minus 7 plus 6? So if you're owing your friend £7, right? And you have £6 to pay your friend back, how much do you still owe your friend? You owe your friend £1, right? So that's going to give us a negative 1. So that's going to leave us with 12 minus 1, which is going to be 11. Next one says, the next question is 10 divided by 5 times 2. 10 divided by 5 is 2, right? And then 2 times 2 is going to give you 4. Great. Then we have, next question is 3 plus 6 times 7. Remember, multiplication is coming before addition. Second question, division comes before multiplication. So you're going to do 3. What is 7 times 6? That's 42. So 3 plus 42 is going to give you 45. And then number 4, you're going to have 12 minus 8 divided by 2. Remember, division comes before subtraction. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 12 minus 4 is going to give you 8. All right, fantastic. So let's go over to our first class. So again, you can always just rewind this video to go through the concept again and each of the questions that I've walked through. You can go through it again, or if you've already understood it, then you can move on. We can move on to our class activity. So right now, I want you to pause the video and I want you to try these questions out on your own first before you watch how I'm going to solve these questions. So again, just pause the video and let's work through the problems. Pause the video and walk through the problems, and then we're going to go through it together. Okay, great. So let's solve these questions, right? So the first question, I'm just going to put the working down here, right? Number 1 says 3 into 2 plus 4, 3 into 2 plus 4 times 6 minus 3. So first things first, we're working on what is inside the bracket or parentheses, if you know it as parentheses or brackets. So 2 plus 4 times 6 minus 3. So we're first of all going to focus on the multiplication that is in the bracket. So we're going to do 2 plus 24, 2 plus 24 minus 3, right? And next is we're going to say 3 into we're now going to tackle addition before subtraction. So we're going to do 2 plus 24, which gives us what? 26. So we're going to say 26 minus 3. You see how we're still maintaining the 3 that is outside of the brackets because we're still focusing on what is inside the bracket by the law of order of operations, or by the concept of order of operations. So what is 26 minus 3? That is going to give us 23. So that's going to be 3 times 23. What is 3 times 23? Give us 69. Right. Okay, great. All right, so let's continue with number 2. I'm just going to keep scrolling up so I can see the question. So number 2 says 4 times 3 to the power of 2. So again, indices or exponents. We're going to focus on that first before we multiply with 4. So we're going to say 4 times what is 3 raised to the power of 2. 3 raised to the power of 2 is the same thing as saying 3 times 2, which is going to give us 9. So we have 4 times 9, which is going to give us 36. Great. And then we're moving on to number 3 question. So just going to scroll down here. Number 3 question says 3 plus 10, 3 plus into 10 divided by 4 times 20 all to the power of 2. So we're going to focus on what is in the parenthesis first before we square it and before we add it to 3. So 10 divided by 2 times 3, we're going to focus on division first. So what is 10 divided by 4? That is going to give us, I'm going to say 3 plus, I'm going to still maintain my 3, right? So that's going to be 3 plus 10 divided by 2 is 2.5. Sorry, 10 divided by 4, not 3. 10 divided by 4 is 2.5 times 20 all to the power of 2. So that is going to, the next thing we're going to do is multiply. So we're going to say 2.5 times 20. So what is 2.5 times 20? That is going to give us 50. So this is going to be 3 plus 50 divided by 2. And then it's going to be equal to 3 plus, what is 50 divided by 2? It's going to give us 2,500. And then our final answer is going to be equal to 2,503. Excellent. Then we're moving on to, I can just do, but again, let me just scroll down so you can, if you want to take a picture, this is what I've done so far. I'm going to put number 4 up here. So number 4 says 4 to the power of 2 plus 2 into 14 minus 8 divided by 3. So 4 to the power of 2. So we're going to focus on what is in the brackets first. Always and always. Brackets first. So we're going to go with brackets first, indices, division, and addition. So 4 to the power of 2 plus 2 into, what is 14 minus 8? That's going to be 6 divided by 3. Or you can always just write 2 times 6. I think I'll just write 2 times 6 and not put it in a bracket form. So let me just do it this other way. So it's going to be 2 times 6 divided by 3. So the next thing is we're going to solve our indices. So what is 4 to the power of 2? 4 to the power of 2 is 16. So we're going to have 16 plus, and you can solve. So let me just, okay, I'm just going to do it on the next line actually, because I was going to do the 2 operations at once, but I'm just going to take it step by step. So we've solved the indices. Next thing we're going to be focusing on is this is division, sorry, not multiplication. I don't want to confuse myself. Okay, great. So we're going to be dividing, we're going to divide and then we're going to multiply. So we have 16 plus 2 times 6 divided by 3. What is 6 divided by 3? 6 divided by 3 is 4. Sorry, 6 divided by 3, sorry, is 2. My bad. I'm thinking way ahead of my mind right now. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. So this is going to be times 2. And then we can now say 16 plus 4. And then that's going to give us 20. If you notice from this step, some people tend to multiply this. They would just say 16 plus 12 divided by 3. Then they'll say 12 divided by 3, which is 4. And then 16 plus 4 gives you 20. I just usually go by the order of your order of operations, and I would divide first before I multiply and then before I add it. So, yeah. And then our final question is number 5, which is, so we're going to do your brackets first. So we have 3 plus 5, which is 3 plus 5 is, sorry, 3 plus 2, my bad. 3 plus 2 is 5. So 5 to the power of 2 times 8 divided by 16 minus 2 to the power of 3. Normally, when you're solving your exam question, you can go ahead and just continue. After you've opened the brackets, you can just put in your exponents after if you want. But again, let me just take it step by step, because I was just going to do the two operations at once in one step, but I'll just do it step by step. So we're going to now have 2 to the power of 2 is 5 to the power of 2, sorry, is 25. 25 times 8 divided by 16. And then 2 to the power of 3 is going to give you minus 8. So that's going to be equal to, so 25 times 8 is going to give us 200. So 200 divided by, what is 16 minus 8 is going to give you 8. 200 divided by 8, and 200 divided by 8 is 25. Excellent. So I hope we have been able to tackle this topic so far, and you have a little, better understanding of what we've done so far. Because we have a second class activity, and you're more than welcome to pause the video and solve this on your own, and then we can just continue. I would just review it after, so you can pause the video again and just work on these questions, and then we will get into these questions. So I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to solve it before we get into it. Okay, so let me draw the solution on this part of the board. So calculate 6 plus 5 times 8. So again, just going to take it step by step. Number one question says, this is number one. So 6 plus 5 times 8, 6 plus, we're going to multiply first. So that's going to give us 6 plus 40, which is equal to 46. Number two says, calculate 16 minus 15 divided. So this is division, divided by 3. So we're going to divide before we subtract. So 16 is going to be 16 minus, what is 15 divided by 3? By 3, that's going to give you 5. So 16 minus 5 is 11. Fantastic. And then number 3 says calculate 8 minus 2 times 5 plus 4 divided by 2. So we're going to focus on what is in the brackets, and within the bracket, we're going to first of all multiply, add before we subtract. So that's going to be, we're going to say 8 minus 10 plus 4 divided by 2. That's going to give us 8 minus 10 plus 4 is going to give us minus 6, all divided by 2. Oh, divided by 2, sorry. And then that's going to give us 2 divided by 2, which is 1. Any number divided by itself is going to give us 1. Great job. And then number 4 is going to be pretty straightforward. 2 times 5 to the power of 2. So 5 to the power of 2 is 25. So 2 times 25 is 50. Great job. Excellent. Number 5 is you have 258 minus 10 divided by 2 times 3 all to the power of 2. So we're going to focus on the bracket again. So 258 minus 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 times 3 all to the power of 2. Next step is 258 minus, this is going to give us 15 to the power of 2. That's going to give us 258 minus 15 to the power of 2 is 225. 225. So 258 minus 225, which is going to be equal to 33. So this is if you add it, this will give you 85258. All right, great. And then I can just write numbers. That's number 5. I'm just going to put number 6 here. So number 6 is 3 into solving brackets for 7 minus 5 is 2, all to the power of 3 divided by 6. That's division. 6 plus 4. So that's going to be 3 times 3 to the power of 2 to the power of 3 is 8 divided by 6 plus 4. So that is going to give you, what we can do is we can just say, we can just multiply 3 and 8 first. I mean, because technically what I can do is just put this in, continue to put this in bracket so that we can solve that first. So any number that is in front of a bracket is usually multiplication. So we can say 3, oops, sorry, my bad. So we can say 3 into 8, or 3 times 8, which will give us 24, divided by 6 plus 4. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So we have 4 plus 4, which is equal to 8. Excelente. Great job, everyone. We have come to the end of this first video, and this was such a successful launch that we have had. And I'm really, really excited and looking forward to the next 8 months. Is going to be an incredible time. So you're free to just go rewind the video and just go through everything that we've talked about. So we first started off with place value, talked about your integer place value, your decimal place value. Then we went over to arithmetic, and even in the arithmetic, we reviewed addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then we reviewed our inverse operations, our order of operations, did a couple of some examples, and then we have gone through these questions as well. So now it is time for our end of session quiz, which is my favorite part, and I'm excited for us to go through it. Okay, let's start. I'm looking for the timer. Okay. Yeah, okay, now great. The timer is back on. So I want you to attempt this question. So this is your timer. I think it's 30 seconds. So So you have 4 times 5 plus 3 times 2 all to the power of 2. What is your answer? Okay, time is up, so let's go through it. So we're going to solve the brackets first. So 3 times 2 is 6 to the power of 2, 36. 36, you have 20 plus 36, which will give you 56. So great. Great job. All right, next question. Okay, so I guess the timer is not put on this type in your answer questions. So 4 times 5 to the power of 2 plus 3 times 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of 2. So I want you to solve this and then type in your answers. Just going to give you a couple of seconds. Okay, so we have 4 times 5. So 4 times 5 to the power of 2 is 25 plus 3 times 6. 3 times 2 is 6 to the power of 2, which is 36. You have 4 times 25, which is 100. 100 plus 36 will give you 136. So that should be your answer. Great. Okay. Okay, the timer is back on, I guess, for the multiple choice questions. So I'm gonna have to check the settings for the next future ones. So what is the place value of the underlying digits? Your underlying digit here is 5. So what is the place value for 5? All right, so it's gonna be our 500,000. So it's going to be our place value. Okay, great. Work out 20 plus 5 times 3. This is the timer. Okay, time is up. So your answer should be 35. Great job if you have been getting the answers correctly so far. So we're back to the typing in question. So 3 plus 7 divided by 6 minus 4. So this is pretty easy. So I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds to work it out and then I'm going to go through it. Okay, so 3 plus 7 is 10 divided by 6 minus 4 is 2. So our answer should be 10 divided by 5, which is sorry, 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Sorry, for a second, I almost confused myself, which is 5. Great. Okay, 10 more questions to go. So 10 to the power of 2 minus 12 divided by 3. So we're going by the exponents first. So we have 10 to the power of 2 is 100. 100 minus 12 divided by 3. Then we're going to do 12. Oh, sorry, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds first to solve this. Okay, so 10 to the power of 2 is 100. 12 divided by 3 is 4, so 100 minus 4, which is going to give you 96. Great job, everybody. Multiple choice. What is the place value of the bold and underlined digit? The bold and underlined digits in this question is 2. So what is your place value of 2 right here? So time is up. So it's going to be our 2/10,000. So this is our tenth, a hundredth, a thousandth, and our 2/10,000th. So it's going to be our 2/10,000th. All right, great job. We're on a roll. Okay, back to the multiple, well, no, the theory where you're typing your answers. So we have 5 plus 6 to the power of 2 divided by 6 minus 4. So a couple of seconds for you to solve this, and then we are going to work on it together. Okay, time is up. So we have 5 plus 6 to the power of 2 is 36. So 5 plus 6 is 41. 41 divided by 6 minus 4, which is 2. So you have 41 divided by 2, which is going to give us 20.5. So hopefully that is your answer because it is correct. All right, the timer is back. So we have 20 minus 5 times 3. I think I should make this time a little bit short. It feels like 30 seconds feels so long. Okay, we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding. Okay, so 20 minus 5 times 3 is we're multiplying before we subtract. So 5 times 3 is 15. 20 minus 15 is 5. So great. Great job. Okay, so 10 plus 5 to the power of 2 divided by 0.5 times 14. So it's time to solve. Okay, so 10 plus 5 to the power of 2 is 25, divided by 0.5 times 14 is 7. So 25 you have on top 10 plus 25, which is 35. So 35 divided by 7, which is 5. Fantastic. Okay, so we are moving on to I don't know if I was okay. Question 11. So timer. What is the value of the bold and underline? So the bold and underline is your number 4. So what is the place value of 4 in this question? Okay, so we are time is almost up. Okay, great. So our 4 is going to be our hundredths place value. So we have tens and hundredths. 4 hundredths. Okay, great. All right, next one. Write the value of the underlying number in this question. This number you have 12304. So what is the value of number 1 in this number? All right, time is up. So it's going to be our 10,000th. All right, two more questions and we are done. So what is the value of 5 in this number 52? Well, I already said 52.234. I'm just gonna call it out digit by digit. All right, so we have before the decimal, we have our ones and tens, so it's gonna be 5 tenths. Great. All right, we're going to question 14, and after that we have one more question. So we have 5 times 6 divided by 6 minus 4, all to the power of 2. Sorry about that. There was a little bit of an error in the other question. So let's do this final question number 15. So write the value of the underlying digits in 1099. Okay, so your answer so is 1000. My bad. Okay, great. Great job everybody. Excellent. So we've come to the end of this first lesson and I really hope that It's been valuable to you just reviewing the concept of number and number system. Once again, just my name is Favor. This is my email address. So reach out to me and let us connect. And I am here to help you out and equip you with the skills on how to succeed for your exams. So I hope you all take care and I will see you in my next video.